Welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Marvelous Monday. I'm Leslie Watkins. I hope you're well. I have a cute little autumn themed box for you to make today. This is a very pretty box that can be used as a party favor or a place card holder on your dinner table. It can be used for Halloween, Thanksgiving, you name it. So it's very versatile. Let me show you what I've got. Okay, so the suite I'm using today is the Gilded Autumn Suite, and it's very pretty, has a lot of pieces to it. So you have your decorative paper here. This is called DSP, Designer Series paper, and it has patterns on both sides, and one of the sides has a gilded foil decoration. So, and I'll show you that in just a minute. You get these 3 little punches, and these are really cute. So there's a maple leaf, an acorn, and an oak leaf. There is the brushed metallic cardstock, which is very sturdy and can be used to make boxes or as to punch out with the little punches to make decorative elements. There are some acorn trinkets, which are these cute little copper charms. And then there is a double set of ribbon. There's a thin metallic ribbon and then a thicker basket weave ribbon. And you can see that the palette here is very pretty. So it's mint macaron, Cajun craze, crumb cake, early espresso, and very vanilla. So I'm not going to use everything in the suite today, but I just wanted you to get a sense of what the overall theme is. And then here is what the stamp set looks like. And you can get that as a bundle, just the stamp set and the punches, for 10% off. So that's a good deal. I'm going to use my trimmer today. And we're not going to cut with it, we're just going to score. This is a piece of the Cajun Craze cardstock. And I'm going to give you the dimensions, but they'll also be listed on the in the supply sheet below. So after I do the video, I will be posting all of the supplies that I used. And if you click on that, you will also get the dimensions of the box. So on the long side, I'm going to put that into my trimmer, and I'm going to need the arm for this. So flip that out. And I'm going to score at 3.5. Get the cutting blade out of the way. So 3.5, 4 1/4, 7 3/4, and 8.5. Then on the short side, I'm scoring at 1 3/4. So that's 1 3/4, 2.5, 6, and 6 3/4. Now on the long slot, first so you can see it a little bit better, I'm going to give this a fold on all the score lines. Okay, so it looks a little bit like this. And now I'm going to cut on the long side up to the second intersection. Do the exact thing on the opposite side. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 4 corners. And I'm going to cut along the second, not the first score line, but the second one. Both sides. If you have longer scissors, it could be a little bit easier for you, but the snips work just fine. And then what I'm going to do is, on the shorter flap, okay, you see one is a little bit longer and one's a little bit shorter. So on this one, the short one, I'm going to snip this piece off as well. Okay, and on the longer side, I'm going to cut out these 2 little tabs. And then I'm going to angle cut them. Just remove a little wedge. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to take my trio punch, and on this punch we have a corner rounder. So on this short tab, or flap I would call it, I'm going to just round those corners. I'm just going to get that right into the punch. I'm doing it this way, so there we go. And just round the corner and then do the same thing and then I have also on this punch this little oval circle, and I'm going to take that same flap that I just rounded the corners, and I'm going to center that in there, and you can just sort of line it up with the 2 sides like so, and just cut that little shape out of there. And that's the basis for our box. Let me just clean this up a little bit. There we go. Okay. So the box is going to come together like this. So we need to add a little bit of tear and tape. So on this square flap, I'm going to take my tear and tape and I'm just going to run that like so. Rub that down well. And then peel off the backing. If you have a little tiny bit off the edge, just push that over with your finger. And then I'm going to do one side at a time. And what I want to do here is I want to get this edge lined up at the top. Let me just trim this little thing. I've got a little bit of cardstock getting in the way here. There we go. All right, so get that corner nice and flush. And get that nice and even. And then do the same thing on the other side. Just tuck that in. Make sure you've got your corner nice and square. And then give that a press. There we go. So there's the box, just like that. And now we're going to decorate it. So I've cut out a couple of pieces. I have a piece of the brushed metallic cardstock, and this piece measures 3 1/4 square. And then I've got some of the decorative paper, and now you can see that foiling that's on there, how beautiful that is. And this square measures 3 inches. And then I've got a little piece of the very vanilla cardstock, and this one measures 1 3/4 by 3 inches. And I'm going to stamp a greeting on this. So I've got my Cajun Craze ink, and the stamp set looks like this. So it's very pretty. It's got all of these cute little leaves and acorns. These all correspond with those punches. So you can stamp the line work, and then you can color it in with these other stamps and then punch them out. So it's a very fun set to have. I'm going to be using this sentiment: my heart is grateful for you today. That on there straight. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to put it over to the left a little bit because I want to decorate this too. You can see how pretty that is. Beautiful, beautiful script. And I have these cute little maple leaves that I punched out of the copper foil. So I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm just going to put that on the back of the maple leaf. That just like that. I'll add a couple more. Put one down here. There we go. Okay. And now this sentiment is going to go inside the flap. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue I'm just going to hold that in place for a minute. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then I can flip it over, and with my bone folder, I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm rubbing that down so it has a nice adhesion. Okay, and then, so that's going to be under the flap, and on the front of the box, I'm going to take my designer series paper, mounting that onto the metallic cardstock. There we go. And before I place this on the box, I'm going to take some of this very pretty metallic ribbon. I just keep a rubber band around them to hold the ribbon in. And I'm going to measure around the box enough. Let me zoom you out so you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to just leave enough to be able to tie a bow. And this ribbon is going to be threaded through that hole. Like so. And then I'm going to line it up so that when I tie the bow, actually I'll do that right now just to show you. So I'm going to put the bow so that it's on the front near the bottom. Just near the edge of the box. And then this is going to be glued on top. Now just to hold the ribbon in place, I'm going to grab 2 more glue dots. And I'm just going to slip one, get my finger underneath there, up near the top to hold that in place, and another one down below. Okay, you could use tear tape for this as well. I just have the glue dots handy. And then I'm going to untie this just to get it out of the way for the minute. So it's lying flat. And then I'm going to add my mats. Okay, so again, open up your box, take your bone folder, give that a burnish to distribute the glue evenly. Make sure you have it nice and straight. And that's the little box. Now this box is a great size. It measures 3.5 by 3.5. It's 3/4 of an inch deep. And what that means is it's the perfect size to hold one of our ribbons. So I can just slip that right in there. Okay. It can also hold candy or treats. It's also the perfect size to hold the 3 by 3 inch note card sets. So you've got a lot of options. It's a very handy box to have. And now I'm just going to tie that bow again. And this ribbon is very nice. It's a metallic mesh ribbon, so it actually has some little metal strands in it. So it makes it very easy to shape the bow any way you want it to be. And then of course you can trim your tails. And there's your beautiful Gilded Autumn gift box. Now if you were planning on having dinner guests at Thanksgiving, this would be a great little box to put somebody's name tag on the top as well. And then you could have some cookies or some chocolate or whatever you like inside there. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to get a monthly announcement about my upcoming online classes, please subscribe to Notes at dandelioncottagedesign.com, and I will send you the listings for all of the events and all of the classes coming up. And in October, we've got something very special. It's the Dandelion Cottage first annual stamp camp, and it's going to be a Halloween theme, and there's going to be lots of prizes, and we're also going to be playing bingo. So if you want to learn more about that, please go to the website and subscribe to Notes. Stay well, stay creative, and I will see you next time.